All right, I'm here with Chris Fury right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's crack?
Just got off the panel. What kind of knowledge did you shed to the audience out there?
I just pretty much try to let them know about their package, man, and delivering the right package to the people and networking and marketing themselves and believing themselves, investing themselves. That's it.
Okay. Now, you manage Mook N Fair. Explain how things have changed in a year. Last time you were at NEMS to this one. How have things changed with that situation?
I mean, it's funny. I just talked about on the panel how, like, last year when I left here, I called the publicist from here, and she said, you know, get a plan and get back to me. And that just shows you where we've come in a year. But it's different now, man. Budgets and deadlines and a lot more things to do, a lot more recording, a lot more touring. So, I mean, everything gets harder. Don't get no easier when you get with a major. It gets 10 times harder. So if you're not ready, you're going to fall on your feet fast.
That's a misconception. They think that, you know, they get signed and that's it. The machine kicks in and the music goes out there, and it's not.
Nah, I mean, even Mook N Fair, like, they were prepared. They thought they were prepared for it, but not at all. I mean, the first couple of weeks on the road, they were ready to strangle themselves, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you really got to put your family on hold and put anything else that you're doing on hold, and it takes a different type of grind. Like, you really realize how many people are built for this business and who's not.
Now, what do you think it's going to take? Obviously, Mook N Fair helps. Apathy does his thing. He's big on the underground. So you got those two artists, if you will, kind of really jumping things off for Connecticut. What do you think it's going to take for people to say, oh, Connecticut, yeah, I want to listen to those artists?
I mean, first, like, with Apathy, let me give a shout out to him because people don't give him enough credit. Like, that dude tours around the entire world, hundreds of cities a year, and brings up Connecticut in every single country he goes to. So pay homage to that man. Second, things like this, the NEMS conference helps. Like, if you don't really know what you're doing and you don't come to the NEMS conference, like, you're really not serious about music. I think people need to realize what it takes to get into the business. A lot of times in Connecticut you have, like, great business, bad music, or great music, bad business. So you kind of got to get both of them on the same page. But, I mean, the more people grind, the more people are going to notice. I mean, the things like with Apathy, with Mook N Fair, with the Pairboys, any of these artists, like, if the other artists come behind them aren't stepping their game up, it's not going to help anybody.
Now, you've been through it in this business. I mean, you've managed artists in the past. You've been through tons of artists, you know, been on the point of breaking over that line, and here you are breaking over that line now. Do you feel like you are proving a lot of doubters wrong? All the doubters of Chris Fury.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, yes, but for the most part, like, I've worked for a lot of major labels. I worked for a lot of major artists, so, like, I mean, people who've doubted me in the past, like, if you doubt me, then that's just your problem. Like, I feel like...
Tell them to throw up on themselves.
Yeah, that's the #1 award in Connecticut, by the way. Throw up on yourself Saturday nights, K-Man, K-dubb, big man, you know what I'm saying? So, but, I feel like yes and no. Like, I prove some people wrong, and some people, I really just don't care because they don't really know how hard that I work, you know what I'm saying? So,
this business, I always say, show business is tough in general. But under that umbrella of show business, you have the music business, which in my mind, in my opinion, is the most tedious. And it's just one of those businesses that'll just chew you up and spit you out. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Hands down. Like, any type of music in general, whether it's rock or hip-hop or urban, especially the urban world, is the hardest part of entertainment. I mean, like, entertainment here is one thing. You go out to L.A. and entertainment is like the movie deal and the TV shows and all of that, and that's a little popcorny. It's easier to break. There's not as much saturation, and the hip-hop business is the most cutthroat and saturated business in entertainment.
Yeah, it's tough, and these record labels are, you know, kind of struggling right now. So
worse and worse, man. And like, artists don't really realize, like, you know, the 360 deals and all that stuff sucks, and if you do know about that, but at the end of the day, there's a reason why they're doing that. They're not making any money. If they were making money, they wouldn't be taking all this extra money. They're taking the extra money because they're not making the money that they used to. So,
and you got, let's just use the New Boys as an example. We spoke about this the other day. The label puts in millions of dollars, and then they come out and sell 12,000 records first week.
Yeah, that's bad. And they got a #1 single in the country. They have like a rhythmic explosion. I mean, the kids sell 2 million downloads and they sell 12,000 copies. That goes back to, like, you really got to grassroot yourself. You got to go out to these shows and go out and pass your own flyers out and go out and get on the guerrilla marketing thing. I mean, major media is just not enough. The major media helps when you're doing the rest of the stuff the right way. And the same thing, the groundwork only helps if you're doing the major media. So it kind of, you have to do everything at the same time on the same level.
Yeah, I feel feel like that foundation is the key. You know, people like Talib Kweli or KRS-One or Jedi Mind Tricks, you know, they can go, you know, venue to venue across the country and sell out.
You don't realize that those artists are more successful than the dudes you see on TV every day. I guarantee you, Talib Kweli got just as much money or makes just as much money as a Fabulous or a Jim Jones. I mean, that man is booked 5, 6, 7 days a week, getting a lot of money per show. His fan base persistent, and that's only because he started at one point when he was 18. He's still at that point. You will still see Kweli doing small interviews in college radio stations and mixtapes and stuff like that. He's not just worried about mainstream mass media.
Is it fair to say that Kweli has the underground crown?
Probably by far. I mean, that dude has probably done more shows than a Jay-Z or more shows than Lil Wayne or more shows than Drake or any of them. I mean, by far his ground outweighs everybody. And if you ask people in the industry, they'll all say the same thing about Kweli. It's the outsiders that don't know like his movement, but the industry will all say the same thing. Kweli is one of those dudes.
Chris, appreciate the time, man.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.